Hello YouTube, and today I have two builds for Luna, a DPS one and a support one. The footage behind you that you see is her basically being a bunny, so stick around and I'll go into the builds for you. So this is my support build for Luna. I built her for duration mainly because whenever I'm popping off my AoE stuff on people, I want it to last as long as possible. And then when you get the Transcendent mod Nimblefoot, whenever you buff people, you get essentially a stack of 20. And once that 20 gets to max stacks, you'll get like near enough maximum range. Your movement speed will go up. So yeah, I've essentially just built her for range. There's a few more things I'd like to test and change. So like her focus collector, I'm going to swap that out for her best in slot, which I think would be the Archie concentration. But yes, overall, support wise, she's not too bad. And she's actually pretty decent to play. Probably one of the weapon mods I'll change out for her will be the defense one, but I'll go over that later. So yeah, the footage behind that you're watching is me just leveling her up using the DPS setup, which is this one here. So what this does is it will basically change all of your abilities into like instead of like left clicking, you'll use your ability keys, and then that'll do like a pulsating beam, which is good because if you pair that up with Potent Collector, this will allow on kills for a chance to fill up her gauge bar, and when that gauge bar is full, it will basically put her on a stage and she'll do like a little dance and like an AoE pulsation, and then that will recover your mana and 50% of the shield. So you can see in the DPS set, I've mainly gone for like a shield setup on her. So for the components, I've stacked HP and shields just because it plays well into her DPS role. The more shields I have, whenever I jump on the shield, the more she'll recover. And yeah, I'll play some footage in the background and I'll just talk over like how she works and how she plays. So my thought process of playing her as a support role is she's never going to be damaging people while supporting people. So I've essentially made her so her duration stays up pretty high. So as I start popping off my abilities, you can see there's like a buff going on the left hand side. It's called Nimble Footsteps. And then once I get that up to a stack of 20, you'll notice that her little AoE gets bigger and bigger. And then once that caps out, it means that I can save a few slots on basically like utility stuff. So I'll be able to put like MP recovery and stuff on her, even though it's not really needed. So here you'll be able to see the effects that the Transcendent mod's having on the range. It's buffed itself up quite nicely. So yeah, overall you're there to support the team, so I haven't built her for damage because the bunnies will be able to do that. So if I'm able to give him like extra damage and extra mana, they're gonna love me for it. But yeah, overall she's not as bad as people are making out. People are just upset that you've got to basically play Guitar Hero, and if you've done the same dungeon over and over again, it's kind of refreshing to be able to do something slightly different while still trying to focus farm on whatever mods and stuff that you're trying to get, or whatever basically boss stuff that you need for like say Ultimate Volby. So yeah, overall she's good. I'll talk about the DPS bit now. So this is my opinion on her support role. Play her for what she's strong at and don't try and build her for it. So a DPS role is actually quite fun. There's essentially Bunny with Guitar Hero, and it's not quite reached her final form yet, but I'd like to be able to find like a reactor that gives her slightly a bit more range, which will then max out the circle whenever I ping an ability. So as people have said before, it's like a little mini game. It becomes like a game of trying to stack all 3 buffs on the left hand side. So each buff will scale up to 26 times. So one will scale up your crit damage, one will scale up your critical hit rate, and the other one will scale it up to your skill power modifier. And essentially you get 26 stacks on each, but you've got to basically bounce between them two, or between all 3, and that's where the skill comes in. Because if you miss a note, then you've essentially just reset that and you're on cooldown for one of your abilities. But because I'm building her to have like a high shield count, whenever I proc my gauge and it gets full, you'll notice that she'll pop on like a little stage and do a little dance, and then once she does that dance, I'll give you back all your mana and it will give you 50% of your shield back. And then if you pair that with the it's called Potent Collector, whenever you get a kill there's a 17% chance that you'll fill like a good chunk of your inspiration bar. So if you just run into a crowd, hit your abilities, and you'll notice if you've been watching the bottom bar, sometimes it will go up like 1, sometimes it will jump up 4, sometimes it will go up 2. So you can essentially just keep running at people, just not caring, because you know that you can get your shield back really efficiently. If you want a bit more survivability, you could probably replace that with like HP Collector, and then all of a sudden you can self-sustain yourself on all 3 of the bars, which is quite fun. But I think the Potent Collector is better, as you're able to keep the loop going better. So yeah, overall I don't think she's as bad as people are making out. You can essentially go stand in a corner if you're going to fight a boss behind a wall and just basically play Guitar Hero whilst you're killing them in relative safety, because even if you get hit by something, you're able to regain your shield back. And before with Bunny, like, you were able to like roll into a wall and that would like pulsate her lightning, so you was able to safely farm hard mode bosses without really putting yourself in danger, whereas now she seems to have filled that gap. There's a mod that I'm probably going to put on her called, I think, like Lucky Strike or something, that will increase her critical rate and critical damage. But yeah, overall she's decent, she's fun to play. I think you'll be seeing some funny things with her later on. But yeah, that's my take on Luna. Hopefully you've learned something from it. If you found the video useful at all, could you please like and subscribe, as I'm a small channel and anything to help the algorithm gods is much appreciated. In the background I'm just gonna let the video play out. It would be great if you could watch that, as that would support the channel immensely. So yeah, thank you for watching this far, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one, guys, and peace out.
High-level Vulgus closing in. Target this unit first. They're reinforcing their defense. Vulgus warp energy surge confirmed. Looks like we'll be met with defensive forces. High-level Vulgus closing in. Target this unit first. defensive forces are closing in from all sides.